pound best fighter in the sport of boxing right now. Um, it's good to see him in this position. In the position.
After their recent heated exchange, Floyd Mayweather dropped by Tank's training camp and even stepped into the ring for a few light rounds with him. The old tension between them seems to have cooled off for now. Floyd made it clear, he's not there for drama. He's there for business. According to him, joining Tank's camp before the Jake Paul fight just made sense. Floyd has faced Logan Paul himself, so he knows exactly what kind of challenge Jake Paul brings to the ring.
It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but Jake Paul now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that.
When asked how he thinks the fight will go, Floyd confidently said Tank wins, and he explained, size has never beaten skill in boxing. If a fighter has strong defense and sharp skills, you just can't reach him. He reminded everyone that Logan couldn't get to him either, even though he came in swinging. Working alongside Calvin Ford, Floyd has seen Tank evolve from a kid with raw strength into one of the slickest, most efficient finishers in the sport, and he's proud of that growth. Things may have been tense between them before, but Floyd says it all comes down to respect now, especially as they've both matured. That's why he's back working with Calvin Ford to make sure Tank enters the fight razor sharp and leaves no doubt when the bell rings.
I think it's going to be a great event. Every time I fight is fireworks. Jake Paul coming in, you know, he's much bigger, he's much stronger.
Calvin Ford, who's been with Tank since the very beginning, isn't losing any sleep over this matchup either. He's watched Tank handle big guys in the gym for years, so Jake Paul's size doesn't scare him. Ford's main concern going into this fight is the gloves. "We don't fight in 12s, he said, referring to the larger 12-ounce training gloves. That's for sparring. He wants Tank wearing 8-ounce gloves and Jake wearing 10s. So it's fair and actually looks like a real fight, not a gym session." Ford even spoke with someone from Jake's camp about it, but they didn't want to mix glove sizes. That's fine by Ford, but he said if Jake wants to prove something, he should stop hiding behind exhibition rules. Let him wear the 10s. We wear the 8s south then. It's a fight, Ford said.
My only concern is, you know, the gloves. You understand what I'm saying? Because we don't fight in 12-ounce gloves. We don't use 12-ounce gloves. That's training gloves, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's 2 pounds away.
When it comes to the weight difference, both Floyd and Ford brushed it off like it's no big deal. Jake's sitting around 190 or 195, maybe 5 pounds more than what was first agreed on. But Ford didn't flinch. "We signed the contract. We're going to make it do what it do," he said. That's been Tank's mentality from day one. Night. Doesn't matter who's bigger, taller, or louder. Once that first punch lands, the ring starts to feel a lot smaller. One topic still lingering in Tank's camp, though, is his decision to avoid a rematch with Roach.
Paul brings something to media into boxing. You cannot miss a fight. I like it, baby. I like the drama it's bringing, I'll be honest.
But nobody really cares about this fight.
Yeah, are you going to watch it?
Yeah, of course. That's how it's going to go. Nobody really cares, but everybody's going to watch it. Like,
he said, nobody cares about this.
Tank makes people famous, Calvin Ford said in response. Roach was a nobody before. To him, the whole rematch talk is nonsense. Ford believes that if any top fighter got the same offer Tank did, they'd have taken it instantly. He refuses to let anyone guilt-trip his fighter for chasing the money. That's just business, he said. Boxing is business first.
Bro, you can't be mad at somebody for doing what they feel is best for them.
Will it impact Tank's legacy if Jake Paul were like to beat him or even like knock him out?
Dude, Tank's a 3-division world champion, 4-time 3-division world champion. At the end of it, bro, you can't take anything away from him.
Meanwhile, Floyd's presence in camp has completely changed the atmosphere. You can feel the difference. The energy's sharper. Floyd walks around giving pointers, reminding Tank to stay calm, stay smart, and do what he does best, break opponents down with timing and precision. Floyd keeps saying, size doesn't win fights. Skills do, and he's living proof of that. Throughout his career, he faced bigger men and made them miss all night long. That's exactly the mindset he wants Tank to bring into this fight.
I believe that this is a mismatch, and I believe that Jake Paul will knock Tank Davis out, maybe in the 3rd, maybe in the 4th round. Tank will try to move, he will try to stick and move. It's not gonna work out for him, and he will eventually get knocked out.
It's a bit surreal seeing Floyd and Calvin Ford working together again after everything that's happened between Floyd and Tank over the years, but at the same time, it feels right. These are two men who helped shape Tank into the fighter he is today. A complete boxer with knockout power in both hands and the composure to use it wisely. They may have had their differences, But at the end of the day, it comes back to respect and legacy. Floyd knows the kid he once mentored has become a superstar. And despite their past conflicts, he still wants to see Tank succeed.
Because he was talking about fighting Joshua, which is heavyweight, and now he's saying about fighting Tank. Nah, this can't be. It's Netflix as well. I need to go and do some checks and see if like the main pages have posted this, but Jake Paul's posted it. It says Friday, November 14th. It's in Atlanta. State.
A growing number of boxing pros are now seeing what Floyd and Calvin Ford have been saying all along. Yes, Jake Paul's size is a factor, but Gervonta "Tank" Davis is the better fighter in every way that truly matters. The weight gap might look dramatic on paper, but anyone who spent time in a boxing gym knows what happens when skill meets raw size without ring. IQ. That's what people are focused on right now.
At Tank Davis or Jake Paul. So, immediately, yeah, the normal layman would say, oh, Tank Davis is better. But better at what? Is he better at selling tickets? Is he better at selling stadiums out? Is he better at creating controversy? Is he better at getting followed on Instagram? Is he better at putting more eyeballs on the boxing? Is he better than him at that? The answer would be no. But is he better at him in a fight? It has to be really, you have to break it down.
Legendary trainer Teddy Atlas also shared his thoughts on the fight, and he didn't hold back. On his YouTube channel, Atlas pointed out that the first thing you notice when the two stand next to each other is the massive size difference. It's striking, he said, about 8 inches in height, with an even greater reach gap. But Atlas made it clear that size alone doesn't decide a fight. He acknowledged the skill gap, the experience difference, and Tank's superior ring IQ. If Tank hits him clean on the chin, Atlas said, Jake might be doing a little dance.
Entertaining fight, to be honest. Jake Paul has a lot of followings, a lot of guys that are going to come and watch, and that gives the opportunity for other fighters to be seen on those cards, you know. So a lot of people don't agree, but at the end of the day, for me, it's entertainment. And if we can take boxing to the next level and give other fighters opportunities to be displayed and for other people, YouTubers and all that, to be seen, and hopefully all the YouTubers and people there are just there.
That's what everyone keeps coming back to. Jake's the bigger man, but Tank hits like a truck. And it's not just power, it's timing, accuracy, and placement. Combine that with the fact that Tank's used to facing faster, more polished opponents than Jake, and the size disadvantage starts to fade. Atlas reminded fans that boxing history is full of moments when smaller men beat bigger ones. Size can help, but it's never been the deciding factor when skill and composure step into the ring.
Jake was, he ain't gonna fight back. He said, so I said, you gotta take him serious. You know what I'm saying? Because he talked about, he had you on a hit list before this fight even happened. So his mental is on you. So you have to take him serious.
Still, some wonder whether Jake's physicality could pose real problems. Jake Paul is a cruiserweight used to throwing heavy, slower power punches. Tank, on the other hand, thrives on speed, angles, and reading opponents who actually move. They operate on completely different levels.
He's a marketing genius, but when it comes to people depicting his fights, I can't get my head around it. If Tank hits him clean, he's going to sleep. He'll have a lot of smoke blowing up his backside by his coaching team and people like that, but when he gets hit with real 10-ounce, well, I'm told it's 16-ounce gloves now, it's like an exhibition. Right. I'm told it's big gloves and head guards, he's going to need them.
Atlas also mentioned past fights where smaller champions stunned bigger foes, like Terence Crawford's dominant performance against Canelo Alvarez, but he cautioned that Tank's situation is different. This isn't a sanctioned title bout with strict weight class limits. It's an exhibition, which changes the entire setup and tone.
Do you think that it's fair to call them boxers now? We talk about Logan brothers.
I think it's okay to call Jake Paul a boxer. The only reason why I say that is because he do be in the gym. He's working on stuff. The fight that he fought Mike Tyson, I don't think he should have fought Mike Tyson because of who Mike Tyson is and the age. And he said that he didn't try to knock him out. Yes, you did. You just couldn't get it.
The Florida Athletic Commission has released all the official details. 10 rounds, 3 minutes each, 12-ounce gloves, and knockouts are allowed, though the fight won't count on either man's professional record. Interestingly, 2 human judges and 1 AI system will score the fight. There won't be an official winner declared, but everything else will look and feel like a real bout. The only difference is the exhibition label for safety and regulation purposes. That's why some fighters have mixed feelings about it.
Tank is not the guy that knows how to sell a fight. Tank cannot sell a fight in his own division. You have the Paul brothers and they come over to boxing. Their idea from day one is we don't have the skills or the experience. What we're going to do is we'll take on the absolute best guys, but they're going to spot us some pounds. Tank has one job to do, that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skill, of which I am an abundance of and of which.
The commission clarified that the match will be officially recorded as an exhibition and won't affect either fighter's professional record. However, knockouts and technical knockouts will still end the fight, just like any other contest. So, in reality, it's an exhibition only on paper. Once the bell rings, it's a real fight with real punches and real risk.
Tank looked very uncomfortable facing off. He just did. I've seen other face-off this Tank done. He gets in their face and they're intense and he looks good. He looked very meager up there. You've had 8 fights and you're going to go tangle with Tank Davis. And the story instantly comes out. Jake is so much bigger. There is such a compliment to Jake within that insult. It is meant to be an...
Many fighters believe the whole setup is about manyan. They're not wrong. It's a business move involving 2 men who can both fight. That's why most pros aren't treating it too seriously, even though they admit it'll bring massive viewership. Terrence Crawford, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters today, said as much. He doesn't consider it a traditional fight, it's more of a business play, he said. But then he added something interesting. He actually picked Jake Paul to win if they go full throttle. Crawford explained that Jake's simply too big for Tank. Tank's incredibly talented, hits hard, and is explosive, he said. But Jake can really punch with that right hand. I've seen it up close. He's not doubting Tank's skill, he's just talking physics. In his view, if Jake lands clean with all that extra weight behind him, it could be dangerous. Honestly, I think Jake wins because of size. He's just too big, Crawford said. If they really go at it, one good punch from Jake could end it.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. They just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over with.
Amir Khan, however, has taken the opposite stance. He called the fight disgusting, saying the weight difference is too risky. Even though it's labeled an exhibition, Khan fears the damage could be real. He's worried something could go terribly wrong. His concern isn't about the hype, it's about safety.
No, in some things, I think Gervonta's just gonna stick and move. He'll be fast, play it smart, I don't see him staying still for too long so Jake can land some shots. He'll just try to touch him. Who knows, man? It's an exhibition. It's a money grab.
Meanwhile, most of the boxing community, especially those close to Tank, stand by what Floyd and Calvin Ford keep saying. Size doesn't win fights, skill does. Tank has the timing, precision, and composure to handle bigger guys. He's done it in the gym plenty of times. And now, with Floyd Mayweather back in his corner, everything's being tightened up for this moment.
Look at this face-off, Henry. What are your thoughts?
You're hearing that shit from me. That's cringe. In some weird way, I kind of like
cringe about it.
He's trying to big man the smaller guy, who the smaller guy to me is dangerous. I think Tank Davis is going to put the hands on him, but I like it, bro. I will say something about Jake Paul. He's brought a lot of attention to boxing. Tank Davis guaranteed $40 million.
If you were in that position, would you fight Jake Paul?
Oh, hell.
Lamont Roach, on the other hand, didn't hold back when asked about Gervonta Davis skipping their rematch to fight Jake Paul instead. In a recent interview with Ring Magazine, Roach was blunt. There's a lot of people I could care less about it. He's one of them. It's not the first time Roach has voiced frustration over how things ended after their last fight, but this time he sounded finished with it. What bothered him most wasn't just that Tank chose a different fight, it was how he did it. He disrespected me, Roach said. You might do things I don't care for, but he crossed the line. Don't disrespect me, and I won't disrespect you. For Roach, it wasn't just missing the rematch, it was feeling brushed off after a tough, close fight.
Boxing has gone too far. Jake Paul is taking on Gervonta Tank Davis in an exhibition bout this November. The fight will be taking place in Atlanta between the cruiserweight and the 135-pounder. Nearly a 100-pound difference between the two guys. This is absolutely insane. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below.
To be fair, Roach has a point. Their first fight ended in a draw, and fans were eager for a rematch. Instead, Tank jumped straight into the biggest payday of the year in exhibition against Jake Paul. That move turned heads. Some understand the business side of it. Others, like Roche, see it as Tank choosing clout over closure.
What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but From what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me. And if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
There's a huge size advantage, though.
it is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure.
Hall of Famer Roy Jones Jr. also shared his perspective on all the smoke fight. He said he's actually intrigued by the matchup, because both men bring something to the table. I'm interested in the Tank versus Jake Paul exhibition, Jones said. If they go for real, Tank's capable of knocking Jake out. But Jake's also big enough to knock Tank out. His take sums up what most pros are saying: it's size versus skill. Jake's physical advantage is real, but Tank's power and precision balance things out. Jones has seen enough in his career to know that once the bell rings, anything can happen.
It's kind of weird because Jake Paul is extremely bigger than Tank, and I mean, but with it being a exhibition, it makes sense. It's fine. He got a big name that he's going to be fighting, but I mean, it really makes no sense because he weighs.
Ryan Garcia, however, doesn't think the fight's even real. The same Ryan Garcia who Tank stopped in 7 rounds. Back in April 2023 went online to say he doubts it'll ever happen. I strongly doubt this happens, he posted. No way Gervonta accepted 195 pounds. He's naturally small, and you really think he'd bulk up to 195? You'd have to be delusional to believe that.
Think of Jake Paul, Gervonta Davis. I know on Instagram you call it a circus.
Yeah, this is boxing is slowly turning into the WWE. That's what I think.
Does Tank Davis have a chance?
Yes, but
yeah?
I don't even want to talk about it. Don't ask me a question like that again.
Garcia's been in the ring with Tank, so he knows how disciplined and compact he is about his size. The idea of Tank weighing anywhere near 190 pounds sounds ridiculous to him. But then, in the same breath, Garcia switched tones and added, "By the way, if it does happen, I'd bet on the heavyweight." That one line says it all. 11 fighters don't quite know what to make of this matchup. What do you think about the fight? And do you believe Tank gains an advantage from training with Floyd again? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more updates.